Hey, good looking. In this video, I'm going to share the one funnel my client used to sign 139 high-paying clients last month, which averages to be 4.5 clients per day. And this isn't low-ticket $100 clients. This is on average £2,000 per client. We have been running this funnel for a while, but we've refined it and upgraded it. And I want to share the lessons, the wins, and a bit of a peek behind the scenes into what makes this work so well. So you can take some pieces, apply it into your business, and get more momentum inside of your business. So this whole funnel is based off one golden principle. And this principle to me is pre-sell, so you don't have to hard sell. I always want to pre-sell people so they are pre-sold before I speak with them, so I don't have to hard sell them. And I learned this from my mentor when I first got started in this industry 12 years ago. He said marketing and sales is like a seesaw. You either have heavy sales or heavy marketing. And the key lesson I learned was the better the marketing, the easier the sales. And the analogy that he used was if you don't have good marketing, it's like when you're trying to sign clients, like your sales process, it's like riding a bike uphill. It's like really hard work. You're going to be sweating. It takes a lot of effort and you're not going very far or very fast. And it takes a lot of energy. And then if your marketing process is really bad, it's like putting a backpack on with rocks, and it's like having punctured tires, and it's just like this really tough grind, and it's a lot of hard work just to get some movement forward. And then he compared, if you have a good marketing process, it's like going downhill. Like you've got a really good bike, it's got pumped up tires, and you're just flying downhill. It takes no effort. You don't have to pedal at all. And you're just zipping down and you're like waving at people and you're getting so much momentum, so much traction. And it's so much easier than going uphill. It takes no effort. You're in flow and you're just having such a great time. And that analogy helps me really understand the difference between sales and marketing. So the biggest principle I want you to get before I share anything is the importance of pre-selling. Pre-sell so you don't have to hard sell. The more you pre-sell, the less you have to hard sell. I've learned this, and it's been a golden principle that served me as a philosophy when I create marketing processes for other people, for clients, for friends. This is how I think about it, and this way of thinking about it makes the whole process a lot easier and sustainable. Because would you rather be the guy flying downhill that gets so much traction so fast, so far, that requires very little effort? Or do you want to be slogging your guts out, going uphill, taking calls that you don't like, having to convince people who you are, what you're worth, etc.? I think it's pretty clear, because content, like the content that you create, determines your income. The content you create determines your income. The content you create determines how many people are in your DMs asking to work with you, or that it doesn't do that. It determines how many people you wake up wanting to work with you, or it doesn't. It determines how fast you grow, or it doesn't. It determines how much people want to pay you, or it doesn't influence that. It determines how successful your month is, how much you grow month on month, how much you are enjoying business, how much you attract perfect dream aligned clients, or it doesn't. So your content determines your income. It's the biggest influencer of your income. So with that said, it needs to fit inside a framework, a principle, a process. And the process I use is 3 steps. It's capture, so we want to capture people's attention, and then we want to capture their permission so we can continue a conversation with them. Capturing permissions mean they've put up their hand to show interest in the thing that we have. So we capture at the top, then we connect. It's about building a relationship. So it's about building connection deeply. It's not about surface level. It's about connecting deeply with your brand, with your values, with your outcome, with your method, with multiple things that make connection be so much more powerful. And then the final step down the bottom is conversion. So then it becomes easy to convert people when they are connected with you deeply. So we capture, then we connect, and then we convert. This takes people from cold to warm to hot. And the middle piece is the most overlooked piece, and this is what I focus a lot of time on. It's what content focuses on, is getting people to become an 8, 9, or 10 in terms of ready to buy. If we don't have the middle piece, it's just leads and conversions. It's like, here's a lead. Hey, do you want to buy my shit? And it's like, they don't know who you are. They don't know your process. They don't know your reputation. They don't know how awesome you are. That is the role of content. And this is what builds this bike going downhill experience, having a good connect phase. So let's get into the 3 steps. Number 1, first one is social. And this is where we do most of our capture, because social is great for width. The next one is great for depth, but for width and where your ideal clients are right now, social is where they are. So we need to create content that then speaks to them specifically, and then we then turn our top performing pieces of content into paid ads. So then it grows our email list, and then it also grows our following as well. The reason we want to grow our email list is because that is one of the points that I'll mention later, but it's also owned media. So rented media is when you have a following, when you have high subscribers, when you have any subscribers. It's on another platform, so it's not your platform. Whereas an email list, it's own media. So if you have an email list with one provider and then they do something, you can take it away and you can put it with someone else. You own the email list because you've generated it yourself. So we want a 3-step process: capture, connect, convert. And then ultimately what we're looking to do is just get a series of small yeses. We want to get people to engage with us on social media. And then we want them to take the next step, which is maybe watch a video somewhere else that's a little bit longer, rather than the 2-second, 5-second, 8-second, 20-second, 60-second reel. Maybe a little bit more time commitment where they're watching something more detailed. And then once they've pre-sold and excited about what you do, then starting a conversation. So it's just a series of yeses. You're not getting strangers to start a conversation. It works in how relationships work. It's very much the same. It goes through the same process. It's human psychology, and it's taking micro yeses rather than trying to get someone who doesn't know you to buy right away. It's very difficult and painful. That's the bike uphill process. So first part is social. So all my friends, clients, past clients who make 7 figures, all of them treat social content like it's the number 1 thing that makes them money, because it pretty much is. Because if you're phenomenal at what you do, you get insane results and your clients are like, holy shit, you've changed my life. You're better than anyone I've ever worked with. But your content doesn't also reflect that and doesn't get people to reach out to you and say, I want to work with you. Then it doesn't matter how good you actually are, because your content doesn't reflect that. Your income won't match your actual skill level. So people less skilled than you, people with better content than you, people with less experience, people with less results than you will actually be getting clients that could be yours, because you're unable to articulate why you are the person they should be working with. So content is huge. For this client, we run a mix of paid and organic. We do paid to build our following list and then build our social list. And then on top of that, we also do it to build our email list. So we're doing 2 at once, and email is our greatest asset, but we also use it to build our social following and then start conversations from there. And our organic strategy is to be like the go-to database for our dream clients. So when we post, we're thinking, is this what our dream client would love to see? Like, if this is the first piece of content someone new finds about us, is it what I would want to be sharing? Is it like going to be speaking directly to our dream clients? And this gets us out of the way of like looking at story views and people that are looking and not buying, and watering down our message to suit to those people when those people aren't actually our dream clients. Like, we're getting ultra clear on who the dream client is, who's got the best result, and making sure we speak to that person. We have multiple people for this client, and we have a lot of client interviews, we have a lot of sales calls, and we turn that information into highly clear, highly compelling pieces of content that get people to know that we are the go-to in the space, which is what we are. We're scaling from 7 figures per month to 8 figures a month. And this is really the ecosystem that we're building. The content stands out in this way, where it's like, wow, this person is different. This person can help me. And it's because of the way that we structure the content, and we use paid and organic to be able to do that and build an ecosystem. We also post many stories a day, just flooding proof. And if you want to go full send mode, like the client, he does 4 lives a day, 4 lives a week, sorry, not a day. He does 4 lives on Instagram and Facebook a week. And that just builds trust faster, as well as doing what we're going to share coming up next. So it's really about showing how you can solve people's problems, get them to their goals faster, show that you're the one for them, how your message resonates, how your method is the way that's going to help them get to their dream result, and build that trust. That's all what social content is. Then the next step, it's also moving people to the next step. And the next step is YouTube. So YouTube is turning long form views into high paying clients. For the last 8 weeks, 21% of our leads have turned into clients. Not book calls, but leads. So 1 in 5 people who become a lead from watching a YouTube then turn into a client. And the reason why is because YouTube has bingeability. When you're watching YouTube, like you are solely focused, you're not usually, you're multitasking, but you're not on the screen usually doing a multitask, or you're watching it on a TV, or you're watching it while you cook, or at the gym, or while you're driving. You're watching it in so many different ways, but it has undivided attention. It's earned media in terms of you actually choose to watch a video, rather than on social, videos just pop up left, right, and center. So the view duration on average on YouTube is so much higher than what it is on social. So social, it's about 2-3 seconds on a reel. Sometimes you can get longer, but on average, people watch your content for 2 to 3 seconds, because it's like this. It's like flick, 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 oh, flick, flick. That's pretty much the chance that you're given on social. Whereas on YouTube, it's here's all the options, click, watch, and then usually it's a lot more than just 2 seconds. Our top performing video in the last 90 days has 5 minutes and 2 seconds of average view duration. 5 minutes and 2 seconds compared to 2 seconds on social. So it's just insane how much more viewership you get on YouTube than what you do on social media. So social is great for width and getting lots of eyeballs, and YouTube is great for depth and getting connection and building a relationship with people and going deeper faster. So we use those two together to get people down this 3-part process: capture, connect, and then down the bottom is convert. But YouTube is where the magic happens. And if we look at the last 30 days of our analytics as well, last 28 days, sorry, we have 602 watch hours. That would be in the old days like 602 strategy sessions, like an hour-long strategy session. Or it will be like, even before that, like 602 coffee catch-ups, which is just absolutely insane when you think about it like that. But what my perspective on YouTube and my strategy and approach has changed a lot since I went to the mastermind in Bali last year, and I had Will Brown and Hamza there, and I got their phone number. I speak to Hamza a bit, absolute legend. Really blown away by his approach and Will's, and the humbleness and the giving, like the ability to give, the generosity. I would sit down, I'd be next to Hamza, and he's like, "So dude, do you have any questions on YouTube?" And I just finished a yoga session, and I was like, "Nah, man, no questions. It's gonna be fine, bro." And then I was like in my Zen bed state, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, actually, this guy's got millions of subs. Like, I don't have any, basically. I've got like 7 subs. I'm like, I'm sure there's some questions." So then I was like, switch out of it. And then asking questions, but his willingness to just be so open, so humble, and just share. Like, I'd ask questions, and then he would pull up his YouTube structure outline. He's like, "This is what I use to structure all my videos." And I was like, dude, this is amazing. Both of them shared 60 minutes-ish on their YouTube strategy. And probably the biggest takeaway I can give for YouTube is talk about something that you're interested in, that you can talk about for 8 to 12 minutes, that you could talk about when you go for a walk, while you're sitting on the couch, while you're having a sauna, something that interests you that you could easily talk about. Like, that is the way that I look at it, and that's the way that I build offers and build businesses, because I build businesses that I love. Like, I love working, I love talking about this stuff, I love working with people, I love helping them go through the milestones that I've created, because I've created them based on my experience and skills and what I actually enjoy. So YouTube is really just an amplification of all of that. It's like lifestyle first, do what you love, have the time of your life, and then talk about those things on YouTube and those topics are going to be what you actually offer. And then inside your offer is going to be things that you actually enjoy selling, marketing, and delivering. And when you are excited to market, sell, deliver something, people are excited to buy it because they feel that energy. So we've changed our approach with YouTube, and it's really just about talking about things that we're interested in. Yes, there's a bit of technicality of structure and titles and scripting and idea generation, but that will be my biggest piece of advice, and that's kind of what I'm rolling with right now. It's just like, what is exciting to me? What can I talk about that is in alignment with my offer? And my offer is things that I'm excited and aligned with, that I love talking about anyway, so it doesn't feel like there's a disconnect. If you talk about business with me, I'll be talking about the things that I offer. If you're in a sauna with me and we talk business, like, it's about things that I offer. Like, all those things are all in alignment, and YouTube is really just an extension of a conversation of me talking about what I love, which is what I offer, which is just amazing. And then when I work with people, it's about the same thing, but we go deeper. We make it personalized to them. We make a blueprint and a roadmap, progress that's specific to that. So that's how we work with YouTube. And then the third thing is emails. So emails are brilliant to start conversations and to push people towards content. So when we create YouTube content, when we create daily lives, we would push that out to YouTube to get consumption. Because remember, rule number one, pre-sale, so you don't have to hard sell. We want easy leads, not hard leads. We want to be downhill, not because we're lazy, but because it's so much more fun. You get so much more progress, traction, and it's a better experience for both. It's a better experience when someone comes to you and they're like, yep, I love what you do. I want to do A, B, C, and they're the unique things that you do inside your offer that only you do, or you do better than anyone else in the world. And they're like, how do we get started? I can start next week. Here's my money. Like, that happens when all of this comes into place. So emails is a way to get more people consuming, because bingers are buyers. The more people binge, the more that they buy. That is another phrase that goes in alignment with pre-sale, so you don't have to hard sell. So email is what we use to get more content out there, and then it's what we also use to start conversations. So depending on your model, depending on your operations, depending on your team, depends on how you structure your email strategy. You could do straight away, here is a free training, and you could give it to someone, and you could not ask for the link. You could not ask for them to send you an email asking for the link. Or you could just send the link saying, hey, I just created a new YouTube. Here it is. Enjoy. I know Hamza does the second one. He's just like, sends a YouTube thumbnail and the link. And he just, because he has like, I don't know how many, he has like hundreds of thousands of people on his list. And he doesn't have time to like, or the model or the capacity or the desire to actually reply to everyone. But if you have 1,000 people on your email list and you get a certain percent to reply, and for this client, we get, in the last 8 weeks, we've got 5 to 11% of our email list reply, and we're sending daily emails. So if you have a list of 1,000 people, you could get 50 to 110 people reply every week. And they're people that what Dean Jackson would say is a 5-star prospect. And he defines it by many ways, but one of the characteristics of a 5-star prospect is the ability and the willingness to start a conversation. Like, you can't imagine a dream client who wants to work with you, but it's like, nah, I don't want to talk to you, bro. Like, someone that wants to talk with you, who is a dream client, their first step is like no resistance in talking to you. So there's obviously a bond that's built there. And if you've gone from capture to connect to a YouTube to build depth, and they've watched a few and they align with your way, your view, your process, and who you are, then when you're sending an email that starts a conversation, they're going to be open to that. And that is what Dean Jackson calls a 5-star prospect. And when you combine it with the elements above, with capture on social, with connect with YouTube, and then the convert for email, it becomes very easy and frictionless, just like DM selling. And then if you have a closer, that will be least preferred. But if you have an offer doc or a VSL, that does a lot of the conversion process for you, to make sales that downhill experience and super easy. If you do want to start conversations, in your emails. One easy template is like, hey, I just created this free training on XYZ. I talk about this, 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 this. I think you'll really enjoy it. Would you like me to send you a copy? Like, that's it. And then if they reply yes, you send the link, and then you could start a conversation there. You could. That is kind of one template or one system that we use. Very simple, just like that. No fancy, complex copy, jargon, graphics, anything like that. Just plain text, simple words, easy to understand. And the whole purpose is to move people to consume more content and then to start conversations as well, because your 5-star prospects are wanting to start conversations. So that is the process of capture, connect, convert, how it works. That is in essence how my client has signed 139 clients, 4.5 per day at $2,000 each. And really it's on 3 principles. Number 1 is pre-sale, so you don't have to hard sell with content. Number 2, have that 3-step process: capture, connect, convert, get people from cold to warm to hot. And then the third one is use emails to start conversations, because you can give in public and you can sell in private. And remember the golden rule that you pre-sell so you never have to hard sell. That has served me well, and I hope it serves you well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye for now.